G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel and my continuing saga and adventure repotting season. Got another trident maple here. This is a slightly bigger tree. It's probably a good, what's that, 80 centimeters, 90 centimeters probably. So this I've had for quite a long time. I was given this early on in my bonsai adventure by a beautiful couple from our club, Lowell and Peter. Now they gave it to as a present for my daughter when she was born, and a few years in. But my daughter's now 13, so I've had it a good over 10 years, I think. And I'm trying to grow this tree very free-flowing and more like a deciduous tree. You can see some of the branches all starting to point towards up rather than down. It's a bit more free. It does need a bit of wire, but I'm not going to do that. I might do that later today as well, but I'm just going to leave it. It needs to be repotted. It hasn't been repotted in a couple of years as well, so I'm expecting this pot to be pretty full. Another cream pot there. It's going to go back in the same pot. Might just change the position of this tree in that pot. Might. See, it's unusual. It's got this big heavy branch. It's got this big first branch out here, but the tree goes that way. So it's just trying to figure out what the best balance is, and what's the best look. So we're going to look at positioning in the pot. Let's explore some of the Nabari. It's actually quite nice, but it's starting to get covered up in moss, and I'll show you what I mean. So you can see there's some nice roots there, but maybe just try and expose that a little bit. But yeah, hasn't been repotted in 2 years, so it's going to be a bit of an adventure trying to get it out of that pot, because if you saw closely, that pot has got a lip on it as well, so it's going to be hard to get it out. So let's see how we go, guys. So you can see my hand. I've got pretty big hands, but that's quite a decent size trunk again. This tree's got a nice hollow, actually. I should have shown you that. There's a nice hollow in here. It actually goes through and down into this section here. So it's actually all hollowed out. So maybe in the future I could change the tree's angle. It's got a few too many wounds from this side, but this hollow in here, it flows out into these, there's a gap in here, so the water flows through. So it shouldn't rot too much more. So it should stay quite good, but it's, that's things that happen to that tree. So trying to get rid of some stuff, but let's see how we go with trying to get it out of the pot. This is going to be fun. All right. I could do some clearing out of this first, because now I found the wire. Oh, the wire's broken. There's one wire. Let's have a look at what's underneath. Yeah, there's two wires. Oh, that's broken. Oh, they'd be broken. Maybe I've had it longer than 2 years. I can't remember now. Maybe it's been 3 years. If you're very vigilant, you could actually put little labels on all your trees to say when you repot them. I know some people do that, but I don't. Usually I can tell when a tree needs to be repotted, and that's probably the other thing. Oh, so many weeds. So you can definitely, with this tree, the top is very compact, so that's why it definitely needs to be repotted. I've got to get my toothbrush for this. Well, if you've got a good, like a wire brush or something, you can do this and get rid of this as well. It's not really coming off as well, so I need to probably wet it to get all this off. Yeah, expose the beautiful trunk again. Just a little bit of cleaning up before I just get stuck into it. Because once you repot, you don't want to be moving the tree around too much. So when in this new pot and new soil, if you want to try and minimise the amount of movement on the tree, knocking them around in the pot, you want to leave it in one position kind of and just let it stay there and let the roots recover and grow. You'll just notice I do the same thing over and over again. Let's see. This lip's going to give me a few problems. I already see lots of roots. Now, if you don't know what I mean by there's a lip on this pot actually, the lip rolls over, so there's a gap just on the inside, so the roots grow into that gap, and it's hard to put the roots and soil just straight out, because there's a lip there that's stopping it. So, if that makes sense. Another tree that's really compact, so I can definitely say 2 years in a pot for a trident. Can be a bit long because it's really hard to get them back out. Now you could have a sharp saw or knife and cut right around, and that gets the tree out as well. I've done that before, but I'm finding I like this method these days. It's still easier to do. Easy to do. Bit of grunt work. Coming. There we go. Oh. There we go. Let's do the reveal together, and you can see. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see just the spaghetti of roots there. Really healthy tree. Really good. Again, the mesh is gone because the tree's grown into it. All the roots have grown into it. So as always, I would prepare this pot first. I'll do that in a minute. Yeah. Let's comb out some of this. Again, just it nicely falls away. It's going to be interesting to see how this looks now. It's nice flared base there. So that's just grown over the years, and I haven't really checked up on it. That looks really good. As always, I'll try and comb out the top first and dislodge all that. You see I hope you can see in the camera, the saw just kind of drops away when I get stuck into it, like this. Just drops away. I know there's lots of roots, but yeah. So let's see how we go, trying to get, I can't even pull the mesh out there. Maybe there's one. And there's two. Oh, there's a third one for some reason. Oh, there we go. That was just two, just stuck to me. But look at this. Try and comb these out because it's easier to cut them off. It's all coming off. All these big roots are all coming off. Now, I've had some questions about my mix. I use this mix for every tree, every tree, every species. I don't really change it. It's just a good open mix, and that's really all it is. Nice and open. I don't have azaleas or anything like that to worry about. I pretty much stick to, you'll see my maples, my tridents, my black pines, and my Shimpaka juniper, and they all pretty much go into the same mix. They do. I don't make any special changes or anything to my mix. It just goes straight in to the same mix for all those species. I do have occasional bits and pieces of other trees. I do have a Japanese maple. I do have an olive, I think, somewhere. So I have a few things that are a little bit, you see my Siju elm in my previous videos, and a Chinese elm. So they all go in the absolute same mix. No difference. All right. Can be a bit hard work, but it's fun. Just trying to get in the middle before I start cutting. Let's get some cutting done. Now usually at this point I go and wash, but what you can notice here, there's a lot more tangled roots in the middle here, so I need to actually, where's my red hook? There it is. Get in here and look at that. Look at how the saw just drops off. Love that. So I need to untangle some of these more roots and cut some of these more off before I give it a rinse. Now the top is still compact, so I might want to get a bit more work done there. But I know the hose pressure just knocks it right out. So and when you're repotting, you want to try and work as fast as you can too. You don't want the roots to sit outside of the pot and being moist for too long, because they can dry out. Even on a day like today, which is pretty much overcast here in Melbourne, it's in the low teens, but there's no rain around, so they can dry out. So you can see that just falling away. And I'll just come back, oops, and go over it again. I hope these videos are giving, especially the newer people in bonsai, some confidence to repot their trees. You don't have, just get into it. I mean, if you've got a bonsai club around nearby, they can supply you with the things you need. For example, my club Bonsai Northwest, we supply pretty much all of everything you need. We have the soil mix, which is pretty much a very similar mix to mine. Nice open mix that's sold out of the bags. We've got all the tools you need, all Japanese, mind you. I don't invest in the cheap tools, it's always Japanese top quality. So we do that. We've got pots, all the pots you need pretty much. We have, tools, everything. Wire, well, lots of wire. If you ever need a short of wire, come over. At the club, we've got lots. So, a bonsai club can be very helpful if you're starting out. So there you go. Has that as a nice pad. There's a few heavy bits, so I'll just get my branch cutters and come in and take some of these heavy roots out that I can see. We don't need those thick ones, they don't do anything. We need the nice fine ones. So there you go. Now I'm going to go and give this a rinse, and I'll come back and show you guys the results. So I've given it a nice wash, and you can see it's nice and open and clean. Oh, there's some weeds around, so just try and get rid of them. The base is pretty good there. It's ready to go. I did see some slightly heavier roots, and I'll try and come in and close and I'll show you. See in here, some heavy stuff in here, so we don't need that, so we'll just get rid of some of those. So that's the heavy roots I mean. So you can see it dripping after my wash. So let's get some, I always like to use my gloves. Come on. So now I've prepared the pot. Now, so it's ready to go. Hard didn't really clean it on the inside. You can, we don't need to. But I like to give it the age. And when I wash, well, it's pretty dirty at the moment. But when I give that, when I water this tree in, I'll clean the pot up, and then it will go back into this pot. So that's the pot it's going to go in. Now I really like this. This is really nice. This is starting to really form up quite nicely. That nabari there. This side's a bit less nice. Doesn't have much there. Doesn't have much. There's a big gap in there. So I don't know. Time will develop these branches in here. Sorry, these roots in here. That's really starting to look really nice there. Now, the hardest thing is probably let's figure out the position. Let's get some soil into that pot. Oh yeah, always do this. Here's the roots from that tree that I just took off. So another huge mass of roots, really healthy. So they go in the recycle, or they go in my compost. So usually all my old soil, I usually sift it out, and I reuse just the pumice sometimes in my growing trees on. So if I've got a tree that's still growing, not ready for a bonsai pot, I put it in that. I use the pumice in that mix. The rest just goes in the garden beds, and it's great for the garden, I guess. So let's get into it. Let's move this tree aside for a bit. Bring in the pot. Bring in my soil. So this tray is going to use quite a bit of soil. I start off with pretty much 3 big scoops. I mound it up in the middle, or roughly in the middle, so where we'll see the pot, where the tree's going to be. So I can work a little bit more for this tree. This is a bigger pot. Now I'll grab the tree, make sure nothing's stuck to it. Now, I want to try and figure out for myself where this tree is going to look best. So, I'll come forward a little bit. If I go that way, it brings this more into the middle, but the apex, I probably can't see, it's a bit too big, this tree. I'm going to push it back a little so you guys can see what I'm trying to do. So, try to think, do I move that more towards this way? Do I tilt the tree slightly? I could tilt the tree slightly, that might look nice too. Yeah, that looks nice. Or do I go this way? No, I don't like it going this way. See, it doesn't look balanced when I go that way. But if I go this way, a little bit, gets rid of the straight trunk, doesn't it? I think that looks nice. And it gives me more emphasis to this. It means I can put the tree on that side a bit more. Yeah, maybe that's the way to go. I think I like that. But I've got to probably just move it into that spot in there a bit more. So I need to move some of this soil away from that end. I like that. So you can see there's more emphasis, or the roots are more on this side this time. The tree has this big branch going this way. There's a slight tilt to the left because of the angle position on this. Yeah, I like the angle change. It's only slight, but it's better than having a straight. Emphasizes this beautiful piece over here. Now if I move it this way, this branch starts to hang out of the pot out here, and I don't like that. But just maybe it's preference, I don't know exactly why, but it just doesn't look as good. I like that position. So I hope you can see the slight difference there. There's a broken branch there. Oh, it's dead. That's all right. They do break if they're dead. So yeah, let's tie this tree in. I think that's pretty secure there. Now I'm going to tie it in the back, so I'm just going to bring this closer to me so I can work it. So usually I just twist it with my hands and then get my pliers. Just checking the root, the tree's going forward, it is. Give it a few twists. Don't over twist aluminium because it can break. Using copper pretty much won't have that issue, but I don't tie my trees in with copper, I tie it in with aluminium. That's done, that's sturdy, that's going to hold the tree. So now it's just filling it up and away we go. So now if you see my soil video, you know that I make up batches of soil. I usually do two rubbish bins at a time. They're probably 20-litre rubbish bins or more. I don't even know what the size they are. But anyway, 2 nice sized rubbish bins. I do 2 of them up, and yeah, so I'm up to my second one for this season so far. Now, that's what I do. So you're never actually having to mix soil right during the middle of repotting. So in that way, you've always got soil ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll work with my chopsticks. You've seen this in other videos. I'll just work these in, this soil in, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the finished product. So the repotting is done, as you can see, really nice, all done. You can see the tree there. Let me turn that way so you don't get distracted by the other tree on the right. But I like this tree. I think it's kind of come along very nicely. It's a sentimental tree, this one too. So I really like that position. Looks really good. So there's another tree repotted. Have the confidence to repot your trees as well, people, especially the newer people in bonsai. Don't be scared. It's always good for the tree. So you saw all those roots in that tree, in that pot, sorry, full. Yeah, so make sure repot your trees regularly, or every couple of years, especially tridents. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notifications of the new videos I put up, and there's lots of good, interesting content to come in the future. Now it's repotting season, so it's all about repotting. Alright guys, enjoy, see you next time.